Are you going to go on in sports?
Hopefully.
So that's your way, right? That's your journey. What's your destination? Pro sports, why not? It's a dream, right? Dreams come true. Build it and they will come, right? Say again? Same thing. You don't know? It's okay. I accept that. Say again? Helping the less fortunate. You don't know yet. I'm coming back to you. To live a happy life. Why not? Say again?
I don't know the journey yet, but heaven's the final destination.
That's cool. What's that song by, I hate that he passed away, young boy from Sweden, I think he was. Say again? Alisi? Avicii. I don't know the journey. Was that what it was? What's some of the lines in it? I've got them recorded, but I don't listen to it enough now. I don't know the journey's end, but I'm on the journey or something like that. It's a really cool song. It's really a Taoist song. I appreciate that. Yeah. I realize I'm making you all talk. I mean, I have a head cold. Go ahead, dear. Say it again for me. Better making decisions? Better your education. Okay. So my goal is to have better hearing, but that's not happening. You gonna break the 4-minute mile?
No.
Why not?
Well, you can. I could try.
Okay, guys, go ahead.
I would like to help
Help
animals.
animals. Cool. Those are 4-legged critters we're talking about, right? Or 2-legged ones, you know. By the way, you know that what are those big, tall, skinny birds called that walk real slow?
That's the worst.
Sandhill cranes? You know, they can fly real fast when you almost hit them with a car. No, really, one of them just decided to step right out in the road. I was coming by a big curve and I did not see him. And he saw me last minute. I mean, he must have jumped 6 feet in the air and he was right off. It's like a cat jumping up and, you know, until you go by and then they land again. I didn't know they could do that. Do you know turkeys can fly? In northern Michigan, it's illegal to kill a turkey intentionally, and if you kill one driving, you have to report it. So I'm driving back to my hometown, and this turkey flew right across the front of I had a Blazer, flew right across the front. So I called the state police right away, 911, how can I help you? And I said, I just drove into a turkey flying 40 pounds an hour. I mean, that was a big bird, and I didn't know those suckers could fly. I knew they could walk a lot, but that thing got right up, and he needed help. We call that roadkill pizza up north.
Mine would be to travel more.
Travel more?
Yep.
Good for you. You're not quite sure?
Happiness and fulfillment.
Taking everything day by day and whatever is at the end, it's at the end.
Some of you are already Taoists, you're already on the way. And that's cool. I hope I didn't embarrass anybody. If I did, I'll be back around for another go at it. Okay, let me finish this one up, then we'll get to something that's probably a little more interesting for you in a minute.
Imitate both water and the Tao in that regard.
And we have to find out where our nature is going to lead us, so to speak.
And we need to just make decisions in the moment without too much reflection.
There are also the concepts of yin and yang that are connected with Taoism. Can you talk about those for a second?
The basic concept, I think, is understood to many people in the West, because it's been popularized in the West, that we have this more feminine principle of the yin, and we have this more masculine principle of the yang. And what's wrong with humans is we get out of balance. So it isn't that we want to be all yin, it isn't that we want to be all yang, but we want to have some combination of the soft and the hard, the sunny and the shady, the male and the female. And one way of understanding Taoism is as an effort to bring balance to China because Confucianism was too much to the male, to the yang side of things. One example is, the martial arts, right? The yang kind of martial art is karate, sharp, pounding, macho, right? And the yin is more like aikido or
Tai Chi.
exactly Tai Chi. Thank you. Where you have these sort of soft, fluid kind of movements rather than these sort of sharp, staccato kind of movements.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a video on that, but I want to expound that on a little bit. Notice she said yin and yang, and he said yin and yang. Yang is the correct way to pronounce that, yang. So what the Easterners see more than we do is this interconnectedness. I've talked about that. In the West, we use reason and experimentation to prove our points. And in the East, they use interconnectedness and how things, and intuitions, how things flow together. So they start with the basics of biology, that everybody's got 23 male and 23 female. When they look at nature, they see this interconnectedness completely. So you have sunshine, you have shade, you have light, you have dark, you have male, you have female. You have power movement like a river rushing, and then you have a lake or a pond that just sits in repose. It just sits and rests there. They say that the right way to live is to find kind of the middle ground or the balance between the two. Now I share with you, nature gets out of balance, blows her top, you have volcanoes, you have hurricanes, tornadoes, but then it always comes back to a balance. So there's times when there's a disbalance, but if you look at most of nature, it's in a harmonious balance with itself. And that's what they call the yin and the yang. So it's a really short, it's a little caricature video. It explains it really well. You will see this on your quiz. This is different than the one that I've shown you so far. So let me give this one to you.
You might have seen this symbol before, whether it's as a temporary tattoo or at a Chinese temple. It's called the yin-yang symbol. It comes from Taoism, a religion born in China, and it has far more meaning than you probably realize. The yin is the dark swirl, and the yang is the light one. And each side has a dot of the opposite color, which gives a clue to the meaning of yin and yang. Everything contains the seed of its opposite. Darth Vader has the seed of goodness, and Luke has the potential to follow his father to the dark side. Like Luke and his father, yin and yang are not total opposites. They are relative to each other. Taoists believe that the universe is made up of energies, vibrations, and matter which behave differently in different contexts. Something can be yin or yang depending on lots of things. So while wheat that's growing is yang, when it's being reaped, it's yin. A wave's crest is yang, and the trough is yin. Villages on the sunny side of a valley in China have names like Luoyang or Shiyang. But on the shady side, for example, of the Yangtze River Valley, there's Jiangyin. The brake is yin to the gas pedal's yang. An eggshell is yang, the egg inside is yin. You think you're getting it? Yang is harder, stronger, brighter, and faster, but one can turn into the other, or are two sides of the same coin. The sunbeams are yang in comparison to the shadows. The pitch is yang, the catch is yin. The yang starts an action and the yin receives it, completes it. Yin is the inside space of a cup. It wouldn't be a cup without it. Yang is the cup. The coffee's heat, however, is yang, and its blackness is yin. Yang goes berserk sometimes, but there's some very powerful yins too, if they don't quite go berserk. Yin is the darker swirl, the female, but there's a white dot in it. And yang is the lighter, the male, but it has a black dot. Water flowing calmly in a river is yin, but when it goes over the waterfall, it's very yang. Toothpicks are yin compared with a telephone pole. The back of a person is more yang than the front. The top of the person is the yang end. Taoism teaches that there is a power in the universe. It's higher, deeper, and truer than any other force. They call it the Tao. It means the way. Like the Force in Star Wars, the Tao has two sides. Unlike other religions where the higher power is all good and perhaps has an all-evil rival, Taoism teaches that we need to learn from both yin and yang. And unlike religions with gods that are personal, the higher power in Taoism is not. Taoists believe that living in harmony with the way, a person will not have to fight against the universe's natural flow. So, for example, listen more, argue less. Be ready to back up or undo something, and you will make even faster progress. Don't worry about being the best. Be who you are. Live simply. Complications take you away from the Tao. The wise person is flexible, Taoists say. Learning to use the Tao is what Taoism is all about. And that's why you should know your yin from your yang.
So I realize you just saw that, but what's the difference between yin and yang? Yang is the hard, yin is the soft, right? Yang is the aggressive, yin is the passive. Interesting, they think everything in the universe is energy. Do I have anybody study martial arts in here? In martial arts, you're taught, good martial arts, you're taught that the body has a central force of energy. We call it Qi, C-H-I. And it's centered here, and then it is distributed out to the limbs for various activities. So you have the karate, which is the hard, straight force, and then you have the aikido, or you have kung fu, which is the soft, kind of circular part of it. Well, oddly enough, I'm up in a place called the Quamanon Falls with a group of high school students, and they're there for a weekend, and it's cold, and they're in a van. Everybody wants to stay warm, and I get them in the van because it's starting to rain. And rather than having a sliding side door on it, they have a door where you can close. And the front door's open, you know, the two seats in the front, and I'm in there talking to everybody in the back, and without thinking, I have my hand on the inside sticking out where the two doors close, and someone doesn't see my finger and closes the door on it. Now, if it would have been a sliding door, probably would have chopped it off, but instead he just mashed it. And about 4 days later, I end up with a golf ball on the end of it. So I go to the doctor, and he's worried I have a bone infection. They might have to take my finger off. So then then they do this interesting thing. They give me barium to drink because they want to take a look at how something's going on in my body. So they have this big round thing. It's like you would think for an X-ray, but it's not an X-ray. They're taking it, and over here is the screen, and I can see all these little white dots running around my body until they get here, and then I see this swirling energy, and then it goes off in 4 different directions. And I'm watching that, and I've been in martial arts since I was in the military, and then and I'm watching this, and I thought, wow, what they said is really right. You have key energy. You have the center where your energy's focused, and then it goes out to the different limbs in your body, and all that energy is the same energy, and it produces vitality or certain functionality that we need. The yang and the yin. So most of the time we're in a passive repose. But the yang is always waiting to go into activity. When you're on the ball field, most of the time you're in a yin position, and then suddenly you explode this energy in a yang force. You do the same thing when you're out running. I mean, you do produce different levels of energy, right? When you're running, when I did distance running, I would produce